Imagine watching your favorite film and discovering that somewhere along the way, a new tax has just doubled the cost of getting into the theaters. That's the kind of shakeup Donald Trump is threatening. On September 29, 2025, he announced a 100% tariff on all movies made outside the United States, accusing foreign nations of stealing America's film business like candy from a baby. If enacted, this would be a stunt unlike anything the film world has ever seen, especially for global industries like Bollywood. Let's unpack what this means and whether it could really hurt Indian cinema. Trump's statement frames this as a sweeping retaliatory measure, 100% tariff on any and all movies that are made outside the United States, he said. He even argued that the US has lost its movie-making edge, that foreign countries have taken advantage via tax incentives, and that this is an overreach demanding a protective response. But here's the kicker. He did not provide details on how this tariff would work, which films qualify, how production splits matter, whether streaming imports are included, or whether partial foreign work, VFX, post-production abroad counts. Legal and logistical challenges loom large. Films are intellectual properties, often delivered digitally. Are they imported like goods? How do you enforce this at the border? Also, many US films already shoot abroad or outsource VFX post-production to India, Canada, UK, etc. That makes the notion of all foreign made very murky. In short, it's a grand announcement, but the devil lies in the implementation, and many in the industry are skeptical about how this could be enforced in reality. But what could this mean for Bollywood and Indian films? The biggest drawback would be loss of US theatrical revenue. Indian films, especially Telugu, Hindi, Tamil, Punjabi and regional films, derive a very big share of box office from the US diaspora market. According to trade analysts, a flat 100% tariff cut that US is demanding could be 30% to 40% in some cases. For big Bollywood films, that could translate to losses of rupees 40 to 60 crores per film in the US market alone. Given that US market may represent 5 to 7% of the total box office of Indian films, this could hit a significant number, especially for mid-budget or diaspora-reliant projects. There will also be a huge impact on distribution, ticketing, pricing and exhibition. If tariffs are applied to the ticket revenue or licensing fees, distributors or exhibitors will likely pass on costs via higher ticket prices. Some US theaters might prioritize domestic, US-made films, reducing screen allocations for Indian films. Smaller niche Indian films may find it harder to secure theatrical runs in the US at all. This might also lead to streaming and digital delivery complications. Trump's proposals may extend tariffs to digital delivery of foreign films, since modern distribution is largely digital. If streaming platforms distributing Indian films in the US are hit with import levies, those platforms may balk, renegotiate or reduce their foreign content presence. Indian films might thus lose a distribution avenue or face higher licensing costs. There could be collateral damage via global retaliation and policy shifts. India and other countries may retaliate by imposing quotas or import duties on US films or pressing for changes in treaties. The announcement heightens uncertainty globally. Studios may reconsider shooting, co-production and outsourcing strategies that could shift where work is done, potentially impacting India's VFX and post-production industry too. Some Indian filmmakers already voiced skepticism. Kabir Khan, for instance, questioned the feasibility, pointing out that even Hollywood films shoot outside the US and use VFX abroad. There will also be a possible contraction in US release plans. To mitigate the risks, Indian producers may choose to not release certain films theatrically in the US, focusing instead of streaming or regional markets. Films whose US box office was marginal may no longer justify the expense or may skip US theatrical release altogether. So, where does that leave us? If Trump presses ahead, Bollywood might see a painful shortfall in US revenues, tighter distribution windows and increased friction on the digital front. But the picture is far from settled. Details matter, enforcement matters, and stakeholders on both sides will fight this out in court, trade bodies, and policy corridors. What are your views on Trump announcing 100% tariff on all films made outside US? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to the Free Press Journal for more such updates.